America's most beloved restaurants are vanishing, and fast. Rising ingredient costs, unpaid debts, and empty dining rooms are just the tip of the iceberg. These places were once packed every weekend. Now, they're barely surviving. Some are losing millions each month, while others are quietly closing doors with no warning. Think your favorite spot is safe? Think again. Because what's coming in 2025 will leave even the biggest names scrambling to stay afloat. Would you trust your next meal to a place that may not exist by the end of the year? In this video, we're revealing the 15 major restaurant chains that might not survive past 2025. And the reasons are more disturbing than you think. These aren't wild guesses or clickbait rumors. Every name on this list is backed by hard financial data, industry reports, and what customers are actually saying. No sponsorships, no filters, just the cold truth. Some of these brands have already started downsizing. Others are tangled in lawsuits, debt, or just can't keep up with changing customer habits. We'll walk you through the real stories behind their collapse, from rising food costs to failed marketing stunts and outdated business models. And trust me, the last few names will genuinely shock you. Stick around to the end if you want to know which iconic restaurant might vanish before your next visit. Let's start with the big names already on life support and work our way down to the ones hanging by a thread. Number 1. Red Lobster. Red Lobster isn't just struggling, it's drowning. Once famous for its Cheddar Bay biscuits and endless shrimp deals, the chain is now bleeding money. Rising seafood prices have gutted their profit margins, especially for high-cost items like lobster and shrimp. According to a recent Wall Street Journal report, Red Lobster's parent company, Thai Union, has been forced to restructure its U.S. operations after losing tens of millions in 2024 alone. The irony? The very deals that made them famous, like the endless shrimp promotion, are now unsustainable. Analysts claim the brand loses up to $5 per customer on those offers. And when you're losing money with every customer, that's not a promotion, it's a disaster. Red Lobster is also facing tough competition from fast casual seafood chains offering quicker service and better pricing. Add to that inflation, which has pushed prices beyond what many families can afford, and you have a recipe for collapse. Sit-down dining is also fading fast. With economic uncertainty looming, fewer people are going out for seafood dinners. That means Red Lobster's entire business model is under pressure, from sourcing to pricing to customer volume. Behind the scenes, insiders are already bracing for closures. The brand has begun quietly reducing locations and slashing costs, but industry experts warn it may be too late. Red Lobster built an empire on indulgent seafood and casual luxury. But now, in a world of tighter budgets and faster alternatives, that empire is on the verge of sinking. Number 2. Boston Market. Boston Market used to be the go-to for comforting rotisserie chicken dinners and family-style sides, but in 2025 it's barely clinging to life. Once positioned as a healthier, fast-casual alternative, Boston Market is now plagued by lawsuits, poor management, and rapidly declining relevance. According to a Forbes investigation, the chain has faced multiple lawsuits in recent years, ranging from wage theft to unsafe working conditions. Legal battles are draining what little financial stability the company has left. And while they're fighting in court, customers are walking out the door. The market has changed. People now have access to hot bars at supermarkets, meal kits, and delivery apps that offer better food for less money. Why pay premium prices at Boston Market when you can pick up a hot rotisserie chicken and sides at Costco for half the cost? In 2024 alone, over 15% of their locations shut down. That kind of contraction isn't just concerning, it's catastrophic. Their once loyal customer base is shrinking fast, and the brand hasn't found a way to bring younger, tech-savvy diners into the fold. Add outdated locations and a stale menu to the mix, and Boston Market no longer offers anything unique. It's stuck between being too slow for fast food and not appealing enough for sit-down dining. Unless they reinvent themselves quickly and completely, Boston Market may not survive 2025. What once felt like Sunday dinner now feels like yesterday's leftovers. Number 3. Applebees. Applebees might still be eaten good in the neighborhood on paper, but in reality, the neighborhood is emptying out. Long considered a staple for casual dining across the U.S., Applebees is facing a full-blown identity crisis. Rising inflation has hit its core audience, middle-income families, especially hard, and dining out is no longer a regular treat. Remember the iconic 2 for $20 deal? In many locations, it now hovers closer to $25. Combine that with inflation fatigue and a public that's more conscious about how and where they spend, and Applebee's quickly becomes a luxury many can't justify. Efforts to reinvent the brand, like late-night deals and karaoke nights, have largely flopped. The younger generation wants faster, trendier dining experiences. Applebee's traditional sit-down model feels clunky and outdated, especially when apps offer better convenience with less wait. According to a Bloomberg report, closures are happening quietly but steadily. It's not just underperforming stores anymore. Even previously busy locations are starting to fade. The decline in customer loyalty is obvious, and once that's gone, rebuilding becomes nearly impossible. The truth is, Applebee's is caught in the middle. It's too pricey to be fast food and not special enough to compete with modern eateries. Its biggest threat isn't just competition, it's becoming irrelevant. If something doesn't change fast, Applebee's could go from being in the neighborhood to out of business. Number 4. Chili's. Chili's might still serve up sizzling fajitas, but behind the smoke is a business model losing its heat. Once a leader in the casual dining space, Chili's is now under heavy pressure from rising costs, shifting consumer habits, and stronger competitors. The biggest threat? Fast casual chains like Chipotle and Qdoba, which offer similar flavors with faster service and customizable options. Consumers now want speed and simplicity, two things Chili's sit-down format struggles to deliver. Brinker International, Chili's parent company, recently announced its lowest profit margins in decades. Operational costs, especially labor and utilities, are climbing, forcing them to streamline menus and cut staff. While some locations have tested robotic servers and updated tech, these gimmicks haven't translated into real recovery. Rural locations are quietly disappearing, while urban ones are barely hanging on. Even longtime fans are noticing a dip in food quality and service consistency, two areas where casual chains can't afford to fall behind. The truth is, Chili's is stuck in the middle. It's not affordable enough to attract budget diners, nor trendy enough to excite younger crowds. And with fewer people opting for full-service restaurants, Chili's feels increasingly like a brand from another era. Unless they find a way to repackage their core offerings into a more modern format, or pull off a complete reinvention, Chili's might be forced to downsize drastically in 2025. For a brand that wants to find the casual dining boom, it's a tough pill to swallow. Number 5. Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings was once the go-to spot for sports fans and wing lovers, but now it's struggling to keep its doors open. The chain is under fire from every angle: soaring food costs, falling alcohol sales, and a customer base that's moving on. Chicken wing prices have skyrocketed, over 25% in the past year alone, according to MarketWatch. That spike forced the chain to raise prices, which only pushed budget-conscious customers away. These days, people aren't willing to pay $20 for a dozen wings when they can grill their own at home or grab cheaper options elsewhere. Alcohol used to be a major revenue driver, especially during game nights, but that too is fading. Younger consumers are drinking less and spending more on health-focused dining experiences. Buffalo Wild Wings' party atmosphere just isn't cutting it anymore. Franchise owners are sounding the alarm. Some have reported sharp losses, with high overhead making it impossible to break even. Inspire Brands, BWW's parent company, has been exploring location closures and even potential sell-offs just to stay afloat. Meanwhile, the vibe that made Buffalo Wild Wings special, rowdy game day crowds, bar food, and beer towers, isn't pulling in new diners. And without a fresh strategy or meaningful brand evolution, the chain is in serious trouble. Unless something drastic changes soon, Buffalo Wild Wings could soon go from a weekend staple to a ghost town in the sports bar world. Number 6. Subway. Subway may still have the most locations of any fast food chain globally, but its massive footprint is quickly becoming a burden rather than a strength. With razor-thin margins, growing operational costs, and declining customer trust, Subway is shrinking fast. In 2024 alone, hundreds of Subway stores shut down across the U.S., and the reasons are stacking up. Franchisees are revolting, with dozens filing lawsuits over predatory lease terms and unrealistic upgrade requirements. The cost of running a Subway location today is climbing faster than profits can keep up. Meanwhile, customer loyalty is fading. Social media is filled with complaints about inconsistent portion sizes, low-quality ingredients, and the misleading nature of their so-called fresh offerings. Even recent efforts like adding sliced deli meats and revamped bread recipes have failed to change public perception. And let's not forget the real issue, the model itself. Subway's heavy reliance on franchisees creates wildly different experiences depending on the location, making the brand hard to trust. As digital-first competitors with sleeker menus and better delivery infrastructure rise, Subway is starting to look like a relic. Despite all attempts at rebranding, Subway is losing ground fast. Analysts say if it doesn't completely reinvent its business model and win back trust, it could face even more mass closures in 2025. Number 7. TGI Fridays. TGI Fridays was once the loud, fun, and flair-filled symbol of American dining. But those days are gone. With over 20% of its locations closed in just 3 years, the brand is fighting a steep uphill battle. High food and labor costs have squeezed already razor-thin margins, leaving many franchise owners operating at a loss. Customers, on the other hand, are walking away. Many locations have become known for slow service, outdated decor, and uninspired menus, far from the lively happy hour haven Fridays used to be. The brand tried to get trendy with social media-friendly cocktails and desserts, but the younger generation didn't bite. Yelp and TripAdvisor reviews paint a bleak picture: empty dining rooms, stale vibes, and underwhelming food. Even longtime fans admit the magic is gone. Fridays failed to evolve while the casual dining sector shifted under its feet. Fast casual competitors offered cheaper, faster, and trendier experiences, leaving Fridays stuck in the past. The sad truth: TGI Fridays is no longer the destination, it's the backup plan, if that. Unless it can pull off a major transformation, one that updates its vibe, menu, and relevance, it risks becoming a nostalgic footnote in restaurant history. Industry insiders fear that 2025 could be the year Fridays says its final thank goodness. Number 8. IHOP. IHOP, the International House of Pancakes, was once America's go-to breakfast spot. But in 2025, the chain is staring down a reality that's anything but sunny side up. Rising ingredient costs, especially for essentials like eggs, milk, and flour, have forced IHOP to hike its prices, alienating its core audience: budget-conscious families. What's worse, consumer habits have shifted dramatically. People now prefer faster, on-the-go breakfast options from places like Starbucks or McDonald's. IHOP's traditional dine-in experience? It's become a hassle rather than a treat. Franchisees are also feeling the heat. Many reported financial losses in 2024, and some opted to close locations rather than invest in expensive corporate-mandated renovations. The infamous IHOP marketing stunt, where IHOP temporarily rebranded to Push Burgers, backfired, confusing loyal customers and failing to attract new ones. IHOP's dependence on foot traffic is its Achilles heel. While competitors adapted to delivery and mobile ordering, IHOP lagged behind. In today's fast-paced dining economy, convenience matters, and IHOP is losing that battle. With dozens of underperforming locations already shuttered and more closures expected, IHOP is in a dangerous spot. If it doesn't pivot fast toward modern service models and a sharper value proposition, it might soon be just another breakfast memory. Number 9. Checkers and Rallies. Checkers and Rallies, known for their bold fries and drive-thru only design, should have thrived post-pandemic. But instead, the dual-branded chain is losing momentum, and fast. Supply chain issues have battered the brand, with frequent ingredient shortages and inconsistent menu offerings frustrating customers. According to QSR Magazine, these disruptions have caused delays, forced menu cuts, and impacted customer satisfaction across dozens of locations. Meanwhile, giants like McDonald's and Wendy's have surged ahead, investing heavily in mobile tech, digital loyalty programs, and fast delivery. Checkers and Rallies simply doesn't have the resources to keep up. Their attempt to modernize with AI-powered drive-thru systems has been more gimmick than game-changer, failing to fix core issues. Worse, customer reviews highlight long wait times, inconsistent food quality, and poor service. Many locations feel outdated, underfunded, and unable to compete, not just with big names, but but with emerging fast casual players who offer better quality at a similar price. Franchisees are under pressure too. Over 10% of locations closed in 2024 alone due to declining revenue and high operational cost. With shrinking margins and no clear turnaround plan, many insiders believe the brand could fold completely unless something drastic changes. For a chain once poised to dominate the drive-thru world, Checkers and Rallies now faces an uncertain road ahead, and not much gas left in the tank. Number 10. Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse built its brand on bold flavors, big portions, and that iconic bloomin' onion. But in 2025, this steakhouse juggernaut is buckling under pressure. Rising beef prices, up over 30% in the last 2 years, have turned its core product into a financial liability. Menu prices have climbed, but customers aren't biting. The casual dining model is also under fire. Diners today crave speed, convenience, and affordability. Outback's sit-down format feels outdated in a world dominated by delivery apps and fast casual concepts. Efforts to modernize, like takeout-focused redesigns and digital ordering, have failed to resonate. Franchise operators are losing faith too. Many claim the corporate leadership is out of touch with the economic realities they face: rising rents, labor shortages, and shrinking profit margins. In late 2024, parent company Bloomin' Brands announced the closure of nearly 50 underperforming Outback locations, a clear sign of distress. To make matters worse, younger diners who value trendy, healthier, and more personalized dining are skipping Outback altogether. They see it as a relic of a different era. Without a sharp pivot in branding, pricing, and service strategy, Outback could see even more locations vanish by year's end. A steakhouse built for yesterday's diner is now facing a future it isn't prepared for. And unless a radical reinvention happens soon, Outback may fade into the past just like its once-packed dining rooms. Number 11. Sparrow. Sparrow, the mall food court pizza king, is clinging to relevance, but the foundation is crumbling. Its oversized slices and fast Italian fare once thrived in high-traffic shopping malls. Now, with foot traffic in malls down nearly 40% since 2020, according to Retail Dive, Sparrow has lost its customer base. Worse still, it's failed to evolve. While chains like Domino's and Papa John's dominate the delivery market, and newer brands like Mod Pizza reshape fast casual dining, Sparrow remains stuck in a dying model. Its recent move to standalone locations hasn't paid off either. Many of those new spots are underperforming, bleeding cash instead of building buzz. Rising costs for cheese and wheat have also squeezed margins, forcing price hikes that push budget-minded customers elsewhere. Sparrow simply can't compete on cost or quality anymore. Its attempts at reinvention, like adding pasta bowls and expanding menu options, have done little to draw in a new generation of diners. And without delivery infrastructure or meaningful digital presence, Sparrow is invisible in the current food landscape. With dozens of locations quietly closing in 2024 and franchisees walking away, Sparrow's future looks bleak. Unless it pulls off a bold, tech-forward reinvention or finds a new niche beyond malls, 2025 could be the year Sparrow becomes just another nostalgic name in American fast food history. Number 12. Ruby Tuesday. Ruby Tuesday was once a go-to for American families craving casual comfort food, salad bars, and affordable dining. But today the chain is in a freefall. After filing for bankruptcy in 2021, it has closed over 600 locations, leaving just a fraction of its former footprint. And what's left is shrinking fast. According to Nation's Restaurant News, franchisees are struggling to keep up with rising operational costs, especially rents, wages, and inflation-driven ingredient prices. Many can't afford mandatory corporate upgrades, leaving locations outdated and unable to compete with modern fast casual rivals. Efforts to pivot have flopped. Meal kits, menu revamps, and limited-time offers failed to bring in meaningful traffic. Younger consumers now view Ruby Tuesday as irrelevant. Even loyal customers admit the brand has lost its identity, neither fast nor fresh, just stuck in the middle. Online reviews echo the decline: aging decor, slow service, and inconsistent food quality. Without serious investment or a total rebrand, Ruby Tuesday isn't just downsizing, it's fading into obscurity. Analysts warn that unless something changes drastically in the next 12 months, this once thriving chain could vanish completely from the American dining map. The collapse of Ruby Tuesday is more than a business failure. It's a sign that the casual dining era it helped define is being rewritten in real time. And unless it finds a way to become relevant again, it may soon be gone for good. Number 13. Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese was a childhood rite of passage. Arcade games, greasy pizza, and a dancing mouse mascot. But behind the nostalgia lies a brutal reality. The brand is in serious trouble. After a 2020 bankruptcy and more than $1.9 billion in debt by the end of 2024, as reported by Bloomberg, the chain is now racing against time. Kids today aren't begging their parents to visit Chuck E. Cheese. They're playing games at home on tablets or gaming consoles. The once fun experience now feels outdated and unsanitary to many families. Parents complain about broken machines, dirty play areas, and low food quality. Attempts to adapt, like offering frozen pizzas in grocery stores and launching a ghost kitchen under a different name, have failed to mask the brand's bigger issue: irrelevance. Even the party business, once a revenue pillar, is declining. Legal issues, including a 2024 class action lawsuit by employees over labor practices, have further tarnished the brand. The chain's efforts to modernize haven't come close to solving its core problem. Most kids simply don't want to go there anymore. Chuck E. Cheese is on borrowed time. Without a full overhaul of its locations, brand, and business model, this childhood staple could quietly disappear in 2025, leaving behind only memories of sticky game tokens and robotic band performances. What was once a magical place for birthday parties is now one of the most at-risk chains in America. Number 14. Hard Rock Cafe. Hard Rock Cafe, once a global icon of rock culture and themed dining, is quickly becoming a relic. While tourists may still recognize the name, locals and younger diners are turning away. Hard. According to Forbes, the chain has been quietly closing locations across North America, Europe, and Asia, with franchisees citing rising rent, declining sales, and a fading concept as the main culprits. What used to be a destination, a place to eat surrounded by memorabilia from music legends, now feels dated and overpriced. Millennials and Gen Z consumers don't see the appeal of paying a premium for generic burgers and a dusty collection of guitars. The music theme no longer carries weight in an age where every playlist is personalized and every dining experience is photographed and judged in real time. COVID hit Hard Rock especially hard as its high-rent, tourist-driven model collapsed when travel halted. And even though tourism has returned, the chain hasn't bounced back. Operating costs in prime city locations like Las Vegas, New York, and London have skyrocketed, putting more pressure on already thin margins. Efforts to revive interest, like streaming concerts and updating menus with local flavors, have done little to shift the brand's downward trajectory. Many franchisees are on the brink of bankruptcy. If the brand doesn't modernize and reconnect with today's audience fast, Hard Rock Cafe may go the way of the Walkman, iconic in its time, but ultimately left behind. Number 15. Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut was once the king of dine-in pizza, red roofs, salad bars, and family nights out. But in 2025, it's barely holding on. According to QSR Magazine, Pizza Hut has closed over 400 U.S. locations in the past 18 months. Sales continue to drop, and the chain's identity crisis is deepening. Its original site-down model has become a burden. Families don't want to dine in anymore. They want fast delivery, easy takeout, and digital convenience. Meanwhile, Domino's and Papa John's have outpaced Pizza Hut in both delivery tech and customer loyalty. The chain tried to pivot with delivery-focused stores, but the rollout came too late. And rising costs, cheese, wheat, labor, have forced Pizza Hut to raise prices, pushing away value-focused customers. To make matters worse, quality issues have dogged the brand. Complaints about undercooked pizzas, long delivery times, and inconsistent service are mounting. Many franchisees are struggling to turn a profit, and some have walked away from their contracts entirely. A leaked memo in late 2024 revealed that executives are exploring strategic alternatives, a phrase often signaling downsizing, selling off assets, or even dismantling the company. Pizza Hut still holds a nostalgic place in American food culture, but nostalgia won't keep it alive. Without a serious reinvention, this once mighty brand may finally fall, taking with it the last bite of an era when pizza night meant more than just delivery. These names once defined American dining, but the game has changed, and many won't survive the new rules. What we just walked through isn't just a list, it's a warning. The restaurant industry is shifting fast, and the places we once saw as untouchable are crumbling under pressure. Inflation has wrecked budgets, consumer tastes have evolved, and patience for outdated service models is running thin. Some of these chains failed to innovate, others couldn't keep up with rising costs, and a few simply ignored what modern diners really want. The truth, nostalgia isn't enough. Just because a name brings back memories doesn't mean it'll survive 2025. Many of these closures are happening quietly, overnight, without fanfare. One day your favorite booth will be gone, the lights turned off, the doors locked for good. So if there's a restaurant on this list you still enjoy, don't wait. Visit while you still can. Because the next time you think of stopping by, it might already be too late. Watch the next video to see which brands are rising as these giants fall.